Alright, just got to rewatching Discovery again. Make sure everything's there. And okay. Overall, not too shabby. There's some leaps in logic here and there. Like, as someone pointed out, they're having trouble detecting the ship with a cloak, and yet they can tell a cloak ship is approaching a system while they're 2 hours away at warp. And okay, so you can't get a precise fix on the thing. You got a general idea where the ship is, okay? So it's the old fire a pattern, you know, just blanket the plane with torpedoes. Something's gonna hit, but you know that's picky and everything with this point. The question about Lieutenant Tyler, I think it's pretty well determined that he is Vok in some way or another. Either he's gone through a massive alteration to pass as human, or one idea is they've well, he doesn't know he's Vok. That's clear enough. He thinks he's his name. He thinks he is Ash Tyler from Earth. But there could have been either massive, you know, surgical alteration beyond augmentation. This is, you know, or they did a mind sifter thing. Well, that they used the mind sifter thing to wipe his mind, but I think also maybe they've been to Janus 6 and did a little essence transference into the real Ash Tyler, and the Vok's body is waiting somewhere else, you know, to be rejoined. I think that Steve has done a very clumsy way of hiding the casting at this point, so it's pretty much obvious that this guy was also playing Vok, so playing Tyler. So that is one of the worst kept secrets, you know, since, you know. No, we're not dealing with Khan in Star Trek Beyond. No, why would you think that? But at least it's something now live.
Star Trek in the dark.
Or whatever, you know, Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch, you know, comes to the rescue again. I think they did a pretty good job, you know, with his little freak out on there, and the Admiral trying to talk him down and say, "Hey, I need to pay attention. I can't move, and we're about to die." So, I do question about the reason what, you know, 133 jumps. Like, really? You know, it's a cool effect and it'll look nice, but that did seem a little excessive. How many data points you really need? And also the story logic and a covert mission involving great big gigantic metallic things that announce their presence and what they're doing the second you turn them on. It's like it could just easily have been a simple little silent thing. Oh, there we go. Move along. No, they have this great big, you know, thermos bottle of pegs and that. Contacting USS Discovery. Yeah, it's like no one's going to hear that. Come on. It's just, you know, you don't have to make the good guys look good by making the bad guys look like idiots. You know? Because if you write the bad guys good, then this makes the good guys that much better. But when the bad guys are morons, you're not really doing your heroes any favors. And there was more than a little of that going on here, okay? Cole really didn't strike me as all that bright, for the most part. It was nice that he finally was speaking English, so he could really become a real villain. And understand, and, you know, not just English, but also just get his motivations across and trying to fight through the prosthetics and the dialect. And you know, I'm blanking on where I've seen that gag with the getting back the combat or the insignia thing. Oh. I'm actually thinking Wolverine getting back his dog tags from Sabretooth. That kind of thing. Yeah. But that's the same kind of gag there. So, you know, and the beaming while moving, that's always been a problem. But, you know, unless they did a wide dispersal thing, just, you know, any human with a 5-mile radius. Okay, there we go. But overall, you know, it's firming up some, but it's took a long time to get to this point here. You know, this shouldn't have taken this long in the first place, and this should be well ahead of this point. You should be supposed to be professional writers. They shouldn't be doing this kind of amateur stuff, you know. And there's still the issue of the Klingon nudity. Okay. between the gray, cadaverous skin tone and the heavy prosthetics, I didn't find it all that alluring, frankly. That's another case of, we're streaming, we can get away with this now, no one's going to stop us, and that's all the reason they did it. They didn't add anything to the story, really. They're another thing of trying to make their own. This is their Game of Thrones. So, you know, see, we can do nudity too. Yeah, and usually in Game of Thrones it makes a little more sense. You know, usually we're dealing with whores, at least, you know, or at least it's a sexy that's part of the story, and not just look Klingon boobies. You know. Come on. There's another thing of not making the Emmy look like morons. Don't treat your audience like morons either, okay? Again, we have gone from Roddenberry telling the writing staff there is an intelligent life on the other side of that television tube. You know, don't write down to them. You know, if anything, aspire them to come up. You know, and push them. You know, and we've gone to this. Oh, they're idiots. They'll watch anything. So, you know, and now we have until January to see where it takes us from there and see where the hell the ship wound up. And looking at that wreckage, I didn't recognize a blessed thing. So I didn't like any pieces, parts of anything. There's just random wreckage or stuff. And it's also been pointed out by others that, you know, for a serialized show, this has been very episodic. You know, it's really not delivering on the promise of a true serialized story. Really now. Because on the side, I've been doing some binge watching on Game of Thrones trying to catch up, and yeah, it's got a far cry from that, okay? To show how far I'm finally getting to season 2 out of the way. About to move on to season 3. Yes, we're a ways behind. I blame life. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and a big shout out to the folks here at King Super who's been putting up with this for a while. And some kudos to McDonald's. They've backed off some. Even the notable managers who've actively come up and threatened to call the cops, they ignored us. So I think it's finally been pointed out they have bigger things to worry about than, you know, two old bums taking up a booth and, you know, using the Wi-Fi. And we've also proved useful on occasion too. And we still need, you know, like I said, we've got in contact with the guy over at the church nearby who offered to help us last time on some car repairs, and he hasn't gotten back to us yet, but he said he's going to try and look at hooking us up with some repairs. But in the meantime, like I said, we're still looking at about $500-600 to fix the van and get underway. And hopefully, and I still got to figure out how to get up to Boulder and do this pet care class and get that thing off my record. Fortunately, enough, you know, be able to get paid from YouTube this time, so I'll have some money on the 21st. And I think just to play it safe, I'll do a Uber up there. So one way or the other, I will get up there if I can get this thing scheduled again, because they were doing me a favor scheduling the last time. So I'll see what we can do. It was a little beyond my control. I mean, the car once tries to blow up on him, not much options. Anyway, PayPal, Patreon down below. I appreciate the patrons I got. I need more. I really want to make this a living here, you know. And yeah, when we get to Virginia, I'll be looking for a radio job, you know, so I can actually start working in the field I'd studied in. But I do want to make this a viable thing. You know, viable. You know, not just viable, valuable. Viable. A good thing. I want to be profitable with this, okay? It's a Ferengi me. I want to profit. Anyway. And I might do a little retrospective of the whole thing as, you know, look at the season as a whole so far. And of course, it's still Orville. It's still chugging along, so we can keep going on with that. But, you know, Discovery gets put on hold for a while overall. And again, once we get out there and I can get set up and start doing, I'll be doing my protest fleet. Because, like the last count, I got like six old AMT models. Now that I got enough names racked up so far between Discovery, Shinzo, Europa, the Gagarin, all in that same general range. And maybe, who knows? Maybe by the time I get get out to shore leave, they got a monster. I'll be able to enter it and make a name for myself out there. Anyway, again, PayPal, Patreon down below. Give off and really give off and get us out of this mess, okay? I'm getting tired of this, frankly, okay? Catch you later.